This is a Saberforge Justicar lightsaber hilt, and when Saberforge released this hilt in 2016, they called it a Graphics Tribute lightsaber, and that's probably because they just took a few different style or design elements from the Graphics lightsaber and incorporated it into this original design. So here's the hilt overall. This is the standard finish. It's two-tone, so it's predominantly a metallic silver color, but it has lots of kind of contrasting black lines and elements to it. So we have some nice vertical lines in the grip section and then several kind of horizontal lines throughout the hilt as well to balance it out. So up in the emitter area, we sort of have this curved or S-curved emitter. So it's kind of a version of an angled emitter or a slanted emitter. We have like a little window right here, which is kind of an interesting little deal right there. And then we have a few spots right here, kind of indentations in the hilt, circular indentations, which that's kind of a reference to the Graphics saber for sure. Although in Graphics lightsabers, they're a little bit more to the side, kind of those parts. And then here's kind of another sort of black indentation there. Then we have some retention screws here and some grooves and a little bit of a taper. So this is definitely different from a Graphics lightsaber, but anyway. We also have an activation box here. It's sort of a shorter activation box, but it's about as thick as traditional activation boxes, but it's purely decorative. So if you did get this hilt installed, the buttons would be here, to activate the lightsaber. Moving down the hilt, we have a beautiful fluted grip section, which is really neat. It provides some nice color, with these black lines, but it's a nice texture as well. And it does kind of harken to the black lines of the T-track grips you see on Graphics style lightsabers. Here we have the cover check wheel, so you can wear it. And then finally we have the pommel that has a few more kind of vertical lines in it, and then it's vented, of course. So we'll just look inside if we can. It's going to be dark. There we go. Just shows that it's an empty hilt. But this is a pretty neat kind of Graphics tribute lightsaber. I like that phrasing of it. Actually, I'll just pull a Graphics lightsaber over here briefly so we can do a little bit of a side-by-side. You can tell that it's a bit longer than that Graphics, but here the grip section kind of references that. The taper in the middle right there, or that kind of choke point area, is definitely a bit different. But, here's the circles. Or you can kind of see the, the visual cues here. And the little window at the top. So I know some people that have gotten the Justicar lightsaber, they said, as the case commonly, that the activation box can get in the way during dueling. So definitely keep that in mind. And watch out, if there's some edges. Some people said there are some edges. This one doesn't appear to have really edges to the corners, but look for that if you're going to be dueling with this hilt. Other than that, it's really beautiful hilt. It's neat. I like that it references the Graphics lightsaber, but it also kind of is its own animal. It just kind of has its own design inspiration as well. So it's neat to do a twist on such a classic lightsaber like that. But this is a Saberforge Justicar, or Justicar if you're French. Feel free to comment below, and I'm sorry. I know that was a pretty bad joke.